got some pretty good, you know, mons for this upcoming gym, if you couldn't guess. Oh, hello, Duskball. If you couldn't guess exactly what type this gym is coming up. And at this point, guys, we're basically just running around, picking up all the items we can. Get ourselves a magnet. It's a nifty little hold item that will increase the power of electric type moves. It's electric! Boogie, woogie, woogie, woogie. And we are going to continue. Jeez, oh man, this place is a labyrinth! Oh, do we come down here first, or do we come down here first? Let's go this way. We are going to have to remember to get this route because this is the proper route, but we don't want to take the proper route right now. We want to take as many detours as possible. You know, get our training in, as always, taking advantage of our partner here. Oh, shoot. Okay, let's go over here, challenge these guys. After throwing up another repel up, let's get back to, not battle items, to our regular items. Using that max repel. I wish we could put max repel on our registered item list as opposed to, you know, our bicycle. And let's get into a fight, because why not? I'll pound the fear of my fists into you all karate style, punk. Oh, okay. What? That was awfully combative right off the bat. I don't even know you. Beating you would be my 100th straight win. Here's to a fun battle. I love ruining a good streak. All right. And once again, we are going to team up with Riley. Just look, he is Riley is peak 2008 design. Like this, if I were in middle school, like Riley absolutely peak, like 2008 design. You know, the whole fedora. I know it's like a trilby or something. I don't actually know what his hat is, but that whole thing, the anime hair and the suit, like, while he's battling, he's got a Lucario, like, he's got the whole package. It's fantastic. And with that, we're going to try to take out this Medicham, because Riley would do the same thing if he's smart, because it is in both of our best interests to get the fighting psychic type Pokemon at it. Okay, great. All right. But Medicham, have we seen a Medicham before? Oh, that Toxicroak is plotting nasty things. You can see what he's thinking, and it's going to raise his special attack. And high jump kick! Yeah, we should have double teamed that thing. Could have phrased that better. Oh my gosh, he's dead! Oh, the humanity. Riley doesn't have any more Pokemon. He came in with that Lucario, and that was it. That was his whole game plan. Okay, so after nasty plotting, that Toxicroak wants a Sucker Punch. We haven't seen Medicham before. It is the evolved form of Meditite. Meditite we definitely have. We have talked about it before. Decent Pokemon. It's better now that, you know, there's Gen 4, but there's a better psychic fighting type out there, so I wouldn't even worry about it. And, more importantly, we have Toxicroak, our first instance of seeing the evolved form of, I keep wanting to call him Froakie. Krogunk. Jeez, oh man. My brain is in like 18 generations at once. You can't even comprehend what's going on in this noggin of mine. But massive amount of experience. Well, it's probably not a massive amount of experience. It's just that I'm not seeing it cut in half, you know, for Donzalug. So that's kind of cool. And that kind of makes sense. Donzalug does sound like, you know, like a mobster. He takes his, you know, half of the XP for every battle for protection purposes, you know. Oh, thank goodness Swagger missed. But let me tell you, Toxicroak is a mon with Swagger. Toxicroak, evolved form of Krogunk. Phenomenal Pokemon, phenomenal typing, unless you're battling a Psychic type. Other than that, though, great defensive typing overall, and it looks really cool. It's got some great physical poison and fighting moves in this generation. I go for it if you want it. I really love it. I'm so sorry, I got a bit okay, that's funny. I'm glad he admits it. And then the poor Battle Girl, she got to 99, but could not quite get to 100. Thank you. You know what? Thank you for acknowledging that. That made my day. I appreciate it. But coming up here, we're gonna go grab this item that was taunting us. So I don't illustriously. I don't have an adjective for it. I'm sorry. But coming down here. No item? No item. Can you believe this, Riley? I'd have to agree. Thank you. People training here would be those with too much time on their hands. What are you trying to say, Riley? Huh? Too much time on their hands? You think they don't have other responsibilities? You don't think they have jobs? Like, some people are actually here working, Riley. You don't think some people can, pursue their passions of Pokemon while holding down jobs? Huh? All right, that's neither here nor there. We're just running Riley through the ringer. Not really a bar, but what's that called? It's not an alliteration, right? Yeah. Okay. Hey, this is no playground. If you're gonna play, battle me. I feel like that would make it more of a playground. The Canalave gym folks use this place as their training grounds. See? All people with jobs, Riley. It's not too much time on their hands. It's they're making time for it. And dang, these guys have a lot of Pokemon. But Geodude and Magnemite. Okay, I'm not like scared of these Pokemon though. But anyway, yeah. Dang it, I had some other tirade I wanted to go into. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Y'all ready? Listen to this. So, back in my school days, I'm talking like, my younger school days, right around the time, when like, Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire came out, and it was all the rage on the playground. Okay, let me tell you. But the recess ladies would never let us, well, we weren't really allowed having electronic devices, at that time, in school, so you couldn't bring your Game Boy or anything with you. But those recess ladies, they on their, horrendous power trip, being the monitors, the custodians of the children, they would not let us play Pokemon. Like, we would, literally, like, pretend to, play Pokemon, where some of us would be trainers and others would be, the Pokemon that, would get thrown out and, have to, listen to them and everything. A lot of times, though, you wouldn't think the trainers had that many badges, because a lot of times the quote-unquote Pokemon would kind of go off script and do whatever the heck they wanted. But anyway, the recess ladies, who probably, I'm going to venture a guess, because they were probably in their, 50s or 60s at that point, had never even played a Pokemon game in their life, decided that Pokemon is too violent and banned any mention of it from the playground. So, basically, throughout the entirety of my elementary and middle school school days, we just weren't allowed to mention or play Pokemon, and we had to pretend that we were playing other things, in our imaginations, when the recess ladies would come, and come for inspection, like the prison wardens they were. I mean, I'm exaggerating, like, they weren't prison wardens. They were actually very nice overall, and were very attentive. Zuko, do not. Okay, 4 times in a row, that's wild. We had, again, I'm just kind of going, off here, since all we're doing is battling the same Pokemon we've seen forever and ever. We had, I'm not kidding you, the best playground I've ever seen in my entire life at my elementary school. It was phenomenal. So over on the absolute, like, far right side, it was just a big field. It was on a hill, but it had fences around it, and so that was where we would play, soccer or other sports, and we would switch sides, so that whichever team, would win, and then you switch sides, so the other team has to go uphill and the other team goes down. And then it had a row of swing sets, and then it had, I don't even know if you're allowed to build these anymore, because it would be kind of, out of regulation. But we had this tower of tires. Well, it was a tower. I don't know exactly how big it was. I mean, it could have been, 3,000 feet in the air, when I was a kid. But, I mean, we had a tower that had, tires connected to it by rope, and you could climb up those tires. And I'm not kidding you. This thing was probably, like, legitimately 12 feet tall. It was probably, like, twice the size of, like a human. So probably, like, 10 to 12 feet tall. You played me like an amateur, like a fiddle. Get it right. Maybe I should head to the gym and work out there. That's where you're supposed to work out, right? But yeah, and I'm not kidding you. Like, it was just tires on ropes, and it would lead all the way up to a peak, and then you would climb over it and, go down the other side. And you guys know tires have big holes in them, right? And there were multiple times where I just, fell off, fell through a tire while I was getting to the peak. Landed just straight on my back or my butt, and they would, obviously they'd rush over, make sure I'm okay and everything. They were good recess ladies. I'm just giving them a hard time because of their Pokemon prejudices. But I mean, that thing was crazy. Like, I don't see that. I mean, I haven't been to many playgrounds lately, but like, I just don't think you'd see that anymore. And then they had like, moving on, there was another row of swings. And then there was like this, it was just a legit bridge. It was just a giant like wooden drawbridge. It didn't actually like draw or like, come up or anything. But it was just this ginormous wooden bridge that we could run on. So that was really cool. And then we had these giant tube slides. Like, those like tube water slides at water parks you see? Like, I'm telling you, it was literally just 2 of those, only just on dry land. And they were huge. And then on the other end, there was what I could only describe as kind of like, it looked like the front of a steamroller or a road roller. And you would hold on to handles and you could, run on it. So it's kind of like a treadmill. And then the roller part would just roll. And then there were basketball courts on the other end. And like, absolutely phenomenal playground. So I just feel like I have to get that out into the ether to brag about it because of how great that playground was, and because I've never seen another playground like it since. But anywho, back to the Pokemans, because Sinnoh's sometimes more interesting than real life. We just knocked out a Lopunny, and which I don't know if we've seen before. So real fast, I'll go over it. Lopunny, normal type Pokemon. It's all right. It's fast. It's got decent attack. Normal type Pokemon. If you want it, you got it. And then, of course, we got this Quagsire who's just taking hits like it's nobody's business. Oh, and he throws out the Medicham. I use Close Combat. We're going to switch out. I think it's time for Warbeak to shine. I feel like getting Intimidate off on that Medicham. Maybe Lucario will survive any sort of kicks that it wants to dish out. And the Quagsire, I mean, I'm not like super concerned about it, unless it's got like, it might have a ground type move that would kind of mess Lucario up. Oh, and now Lucario goes for the, oh geez, high jump kick. Intimidate, payoff. You're welcome, you fedora-wearing trainer. All right. And the Yawn making Lucario drowsy, which means in one turn he is going to be asleep. Warbeak, we can use Aerial Ace. I am not expecting this Medicham to live. It's Warbeak. Nothing is surviving when Warbeak is on the warpath, as it were. And Zuko Grunt level 38, not bad at all. Lucario's gonna get a Force Palm in here before he nods off, conks out for the rest of the battle. Oh, gets the paralysis. I can't be too upset about. Oh, well, I think Lucario's gonna conk out a little bit before that Yawn's gonna set in. So Riley's not doing too great here, considering. I mean, all things considered, that he's the highest level, but my goodness, he's just getting run through the ringer. Kirlia comes out. I'm sure we've seen one before. The little ballerina-looking thing. This Kirlia, I believe, is destined to be a Gardevoir. Gardevoir? Which is how you say Gardevoir in French. Don't quote me on that. That's probably misinformation. All right. Hey, you can't do that. And it's got Intimidate too. Okay, no, that's fine. We have a nice one-stop solution for both of these things, and it's called Maytag. It is the washing machine. We're gonna get Maytag out here. It is going to get predicted. We are going to absolutely bonk this Staraptor with a Shockwave. You guys like fried chicken? Boom! Right there. We are feasting good tonight, baby. Actually, I don't know. I spoke way too soon. I cannot believe Staraptor lived that. I mean, I kind of can because, Staraptor's like an absolute beast of a Pokemon. But that's wild to me. We are going to... We have to use Shockwave again. It's our most accurate move. Shadow Ball would not work against Staraptor. And I'm more concerned about the damage output that thing's going to do. in the long run over the Curlia, even though that Psychic did quite a bit of damage. But we got a Shadow Ball lined up for that thing's a dorky face, or what it has of a face. Is that like hair, or is that like part of its like head? Like, is that little like pixie cut that's kind of got right there? Like, do you think that's hair? I don't know, because it doesn't lay like hair, so I would assume it'd be like skin flaps. Oh, I don't like thinking about it. But this Curlia, after 2 Calm Minds, might actually survive a Shadow Ball from Maytag. But more importantly, look at this little lug. Look at this lug just lying there. Never mind, Maytag's too good. But look at this lug just lying there. Say hello to Hippopotas, which is a Pokemon we haven't seen thus far, and a brand new Gen 4mon with Crunch. Of course, it's got Crunch. And it's super, yeah, not super effective. But Hippopotas is a Pokemon we haven't seen thus far. It is a pure ground type Pokemon. It's like pretty nifty, as you can see. It has sand streams, so it whips up a sandstorm when it is sent out. Now, fun thing to note, there is a difference in the coloring between the males and the females. I believe the females have dark, where the dark brown where the tan is here, and then, you know, the males have the tan where the dark brown would be for females. But Hippopotas, it's exactly how you'd expect a hippo. I mean, your perception of a hippo, not a real-life hippo. It's not nearly that threatening. Hippopotas, it's pretty bulky, pretty slow. It's got decent attack. Ground types are always solid, though. And if you want a Gen 4 ground type, you could go for it. It evolves into a much bigger mon, Hippowdon, probably in a couple levels from where it is where that trainer had it. And yeah, I mean, it's a pretty decent Pokemon, nifty looking thing. But I don't know. I feel like there are better ground types out there, and it just kind of loses to that. And Riley, do you see the spacemen, Riley? It never fails. Let me tell you about the spacemen, Riley. They are everywhere I go. They are there. I cannot seem to shake them. Okay, we got Warbeak up front. We are going to go confront them, because why would we not? I get it now. You're responsible for agitating the Pokemon. I don't care what good reason you may have, but Riley, look at them. Do they look like they have a good reason? All right, but I don't care but I don't want you bringing any trouble into the mine. You're what? We're Team Galactic. We'll take all the Pokemon we want. Yeah, but Riley, you're what? Isn't that right, partner? You said it, brother. Okay, are they brothers or are they partners? So that's what we're gonna do. Riley, you're what? We're abducting all the Pokemon from this rusted out Iron Island. Okay, but to be fair, if they're all wild Pokemon, is that really technically abduction? Just sharing all the joys and all the sorrows. Riley, you're what? That is how all the trainers in Pokemon live in Sinnoh. I won't allow anyone to defy that code of ethics. Come on, Jake. This is one battle we can't lose. I know he means, like, you know, like, we can't afford to lose, but he's pretty accurate in saying that we just can't lose this battle. It's 2 Galactic Grunts. I'll tell you what, though. They've got a pretty big party of Pokemon. But at this point, you know, it's their standard grunt fare. We've got Glameows and Zubats. I know we got Stunkies in there, which Lucario can take on with, you know, no problem. Unlike all the other Pokemon that we have seen thus far in the mine, which honestly, I can't complain too much about. I actually prefer that they made it that way. It's nice to have the heal after every single battle, but it's really nice too that your partner, like the partner's Pokemon, is not so overpowered that they're the ones carrying you through, you know, Iron Island. So if, you know, our Pokemon were not at this decent level, so like, you know, around the, you know, 36 and up, and we were a bit lower, we could come here and potentially train, but Lucario's not going to do all the work for us, which I think is honestly a really, really good move and good planning on the development, like the devs part. You know, it's like you're not going to be in any like real trouble but again, the partner's not going to farm experience for you. It's just not going to happen. Same thing, I like how Cheryl's Chansey was mainly support. It didn't do very much in ways of actually, you know, attacking. It was more so, you know, heal up, be a wall, you know, let your Pokemon do the actual work. With Mira, I mean, she's got the Kadabra, which is a glass cannon. So while she could dish out damage, if she got hit, like that Kadabra wasn't staying up. So I think they did a really good job on, you know, the partners in this game. It's a great concept, and it's not, you know, it doesn't make things like super easy or anything. So I truly appreciate the amount of effort in scaling that the devs did. However, I gotta say, it's a little bit harder in Diamond and Pearl because some of the Pokemon might be different, but that Lucario is not nearly as strong as, you know, this Lucario here in Platinum. Which, I don't know, works out. And, aw! Look at that! It's a Houndour! Aw! I love Houndour. So, Houndour... Coughing! Alright. Houndour, I'm pretty sure we've seen it before. If we haven't, though, I mean, great option. You're not going to find one in Diamond and Pearl, unfortunately. But if you're looking for a really good fire type, I mean, Houndour evolving into Houndoom, it doesn't get much better than that. Well, it does in later generations. Once again, it's one of those things where it's unfortunate that Houndour is... the dark typing is kind of crippled by the generation that it's in. So it gets better moves in later generations. So, but again, overall, great Pokemon, great special attack, good speed. What you'd expect from a fire-type Pokemon. And okay, kids, everyone say goodbye. Bye, Houndour. You're really cute. All right. And, oh, Warbeak growing to level 37. Which I can really appreciate because Warbeak's not getting a lot of it. I want to cry. My heart is shattered. Aw, they're too tough to handle. What a combination. I threw that line in there to pat themselves on the back, which they should. Stop. I said stop. Your combination is so sick. Like, cool sick or like it's going to make you sick? The both of you and your Pokemon. Let's beat it, partner. You said it, brother. We don't even know what Team Galactic's big plan is anyway. My God. Thanks. You really helped me out. Yeah, but, like, going back to the whole mine comment, it was your what? Listen, I have a Pokemon egg here. Did you? Riley, did you lay an egg? Or do you know where it came from? Either of those things would be super important. Would you take it with you? Oh, I would love to. Thank you. But you don't have any room to take another Pokemon. I'll wait here for you. Okay. So he will give you an egg. We should have been prepared for that, but we weren't, unfortunately. And with this lift... After taking on that Team Galactic Grunt, we can just get out of here. I might come back for that egg. I'm not going to use it or anything. So that egg that Riley's going to give you, it's going to contain a Riolu. You know, hey, overall, pretty nifty. Can't complain about that. Riolu is the pre-evolved form of Lucario. So you can get yourself Riolu, and then you can have your own Lucario. And we get ourselves a shiny stone. That's really nice. I don't know off the top of my head what Pokemon that would evolve in this generation. So it doesn't evolve Murkrow, I'll tell you that much. But you come in here, find yourself a metal coat. This is the item that will make Steelix evolve, or an Onix evolve into a Steelix. And I knew this room was too big for just a metal coat. We're gonna come over this way. Where are you? Okay, one up and one over. Yeah, and we get ourselves a nugget. Pretty nifty. There is all the... However, we are missing something in here. So, but this is the exit to Iron Island. As you can see, we are up here on the upper left side of the island. We can hop down here, and I will be right back, guys, cutting back into where that item that we missed is. What a fool this game made me out to be. There was an item. The item was right here, guys. So if you remember, we did check this spot. Apparently not thoroughly enough. But we get ourselves the iron plate. And, I mean, we've been collecting all the plates so far. So we had to get the iron one as well. And there's a text on the back of it. The rightful bearer of a plate draws from the plate it holds. Okay, so this one isn't like, you know, a hard bar or anything about Sinaloa. It's just telling you what the plates do. Pretty nifty with that. And with that, I will meet you back outside of Iron Island. Alrighty guys, and back outside Iron Island after getting the iron plate, which we did not want to miss. With that, we have completed our task here at Iron Island, and we are now ready. Did some training, met Riley, so, you know, anime dude, you know, at the fedora, you know, peak 2008, and in the next episode, I believe we're ready to finally take on the Canalave City Gym. So, if you liked what you saw, go ahead and smash that subscribe button, like, dislike, whatever you're feeling like, and until next time, guys, I will catch you later. Running, running in the doors. Running, running, here's some more. Running in the doors. Running indoors. Pokemon Gen 4. Pikachu?